Hi, Maria Tabane again. Just wanted to do a very quick run through of some conditions that tend to induce allophonic variation. Just kind of a checklist for when you're dealing with any problems that are asking you to decide if a sound is an allophone or a phoneme, which is a typical sort of beginner's linguistic problem. Okay, so you might find that vowel context is really important. Is it a high vowel? Is it a low vowel, a back vowel, or a front vowel? Okay, so that's something we saw in our worked example of German. Then you might also want to check for consonant context. Okay, is the sound before or after a particular kind of consonant? Okay, is it a voiced, voiced or voiceless consonant? Does that matter? Does it matter if it's produced with the lips or with some part of the tongue? So, you check what's coming before and after your sound of interest, okay? If the sound of interest is a vowel, you might want to check the consonant next to it, or, if the sound of interest is a consonant, you might want to check the vowel next to it. But, it might be a consonant where you need to check the consonant next to it, okay? So, this is where it is important to know how your speech sounds are classified. Okay, this is where it's important to know that B is a voiced bilabial stop. Okay, and that needs to be automatic. Otherwise, it'll take you too long to work through the problems. Okay, you need to be really confident. E, high front, unrounded vowel. Bang, that needs to be fast. Okay, you need to be really confident on those classifications of the consonants and the vowels. This is where the phonetics start slotting into the phonology, into the grammar of the language. Okay. Another thing you might want to check is, so we saw, consonant context with our example of a in English. Okay. You might also want to check word position. Is it something that occurs only at the beginning or only at the end of a word? Okay. That one crops up sometimes. Syllable position also crops up. Is it at the beginning or end of a syllable? All right. So that tends to, be an issue in, sometimes we say that, languages like Japanese and Korean don't really contrast r and l, okay. But in fact, whether you get one that's a bit more r-like or a bit more l-like, depends on whether it's the beginning or the end of the syllable. Okay, when we deal with syllables in another lesson, we'll learn that they're called onsets and codas of the syllable. Okay, so that's, another one you can be checking. Intervocalic position, what that means is between two vowels. Alrighty, V, slot, V. Okay, so there's slot, we use slot for the sound of interest. Okay, and between two vowels. So a typical process that might occur intervocalically is that voiceless stops will become voiced. Okay, that'll tend to happen, say, in Australian Aboriginal languages where, say, P and B doesn't contrast. They might just have a sound that is actually P, all right, but it will start sounding a bit more like B between two vowels. Okay, that's a typical intervocalic process, that a voiceless sound will become voiced. All right, there's other things that can go on. Stops can become fricatives, all sorts of things. Okay, but check for intervocalic position. The other one that we probably won't be dealing with terribly much, at this level is lexical stress, meaning stress on the word. Okay, and oopsie daisy. If ever you did have to solve a problem where lexical stress was relevant, then stress will probably be marked on the word for you as a bit of a handy hint. Okay, so yeah, they're just some typical conditions that can, serve as a bit of a checklist for you. Okay, so I just wanted to run through that quickly. All right.